What's up, Southeast Gravel? We're riding the Kershaw course today. Me and Rob Mobley, local Kershaw legend. So we're gonna show you some of the details from the Kershaw course. Nice thing is, first 5 miles, all pavement. So it lets it sort out a little bit before you get into the gravel. So you're not gonna come into that first gravel section with like a huge group together. So that'll be nice. Stay tuned. This is our first right turn on the gravel, Hilton Road. So this comes about 5 miles in. All right, Hilton Road's got a little bit of chunky pavement mixed in. Awesome view to the right. It's actually granite here. So you hop on this little granite face, kind of like riding at DuPont. And then back onto the gravel. The cool thing about this is you get some long range views out here. So this is still that first gravel section on Hilton Road. All right, still on Hilton. It turned to pavement, but then it started going uphill. When it turns to pavement, you got about a mile-long climb to greet you. And it's not shallow. All right, we're still climbing. This road goes on a lot farther than you think. One of the things you'll notice on this is there's all these giant rocks scattered everywhere around here. And that's because we're riding on the fall line of South Carolina. So like a lot of you, these rocks made their way down from the mountains. All right, so we're at Liberty Hill now, and you're about to turn right for this Liberty Hill Wildlife Management. And we'll make a right turn and then your next right turn, and then pavement is pretty much done for a while. Right turn towards Liberty Hill. And onto the gravel. This road changes surface type a lot. Stay tuned. We found the hill on Wildlife. It gets really steep here for a bit. 10% plus. But the gravel is super nice. All right, once you crest that really steep hill, you're gonna fly downhill. You're gonna come past the signs for the Liberty Hill Wildlife Area. You're gonna continue straight, and this is where everything changes on Wildlife Road. You go from really nice gravel to a narrow road, and you're gonna get some mud sections here. Nothing like Saluda, it's easy to get around, but the first one comes right after that sign. And you see here, Robert already made it through. There's plenty of room on the left side. All right, so not to scare you on Wildlife Road, it is pretty cool. For the most part, it's like this. Lots of shade. There's gonna be some rivets, some steep climbs. All right, we're at the worst of the mud section. Robert just went through it with no problem at all. There's some tire marks there, so just follow those. This is the worst section on course, and it's only for like 50 meters. Okay, so I lied a little bit earlier. This is the worst mud section. Again, only 50 meters. The way to go is on the left side where Robert is. Probably just get off your bike and walk a little bit. If you're feeling really sendy, you might be able to take it that way. All right, so update. The better choice is to walk on the side. Don't try to send it through that mud pile. But at least it was only 50 meters and not 4 miles, like Unbound. All right, so right after the mud, you're greeted with chunky rocks. How the hell does that happen? Only at Kershaw. And now, a word from our sponsors. We're gonna have a bunch of these squirt chain lubes, little mini things, at registration. Grab some, because if you ride through the mud and your chain gets all gunked up with mud and stuff, it may not shift that well. We'll have it at the rest stop, which is at the end of this road, but if it's shifting bad, you're gonna wanna put some squirt lube on and your bike will shift like new again. All right, so all that stuff I showed you was all in like a 2 to 3 mile section of wildlife. So it's not like it goes on for the whole course. I just want to highlight some of the more fun stuff. At the end, it turns into this like chip and seal stuff, but we're going to classify that as gravel to give us a little bit more percentage of gravel. From here, cross over, you're on a paved road for about 50 meters before turning left onto Cunningham Quarters. All right, we're on Cunningham Quarters, which is wide open, beautiful gravel road, and a lot more of these giant rocks. Ooh, some ruts there in the road. These giant rocks are everywhere out on course. They look kind of out of place here. After Cunningham Quarters, you get on this paved road and you go downhill in the shade for a bit. Take this opportunity to recover, because you've got a good climb and then more gravel coming up. After that road section, which included a pretty good climb, you turn right onto Walker Road. And Walker's just your very straightforward gravel road. No traffic, good condition, shaded, some good climbs on it. And it's the second to last gravel section of the day. All right, woo, car back. We just got passed by our first car, which is a good sign. We just finished Walker Road, which seems like it just climbed for like 4 miles at a 3% grade. We're on Stoneboro. You're on pavement for 2 miles. There's 13 miles left to go. And once we get off this pavement, that's it. It's dirt all the way to the finish, with the exception of about a 1/4 mile section. Next up is the infamous Dick Hill Road. All right, this is Dick Hill Road. Last gravel road section before we get onto private property. So this is the last one that you can ride anytime you want. All right, Dick Hill is in beautiful condition. They've been grading it. It's the best I've seen it. The one thing you gotta look out for is they do have these ruts going along the pavement there, or gravel. And when you go over them, you gotta lift up your front wheel, especially if you're going downhill. This is a good example of a rut that you really gotta look out for. You'll come into this and you'll pick your line, so you wanna pick the good line there, but you gotta watch out for that and definitely slow down. So just keep an eye out when you're on Dick Hill. Right at the end of Dick Hill, for some reason, it just turns to sand. It's not very long. I'm riding through it one-handed, so it's not that bad. Until I bust ass here. But yeah, you get some sand. All right, we're back on the Brewer Plantation property. And this is gonna get bushwhacked beforehand, but we've got a fun finish for you. A little bit of off-road cut through, but then a lot of gravel to the finish. All right, we're on the final approach to the finish line. Going through the grass, it's cut down. It's actually really nice here. Smoother than some of the gravel roads. 1K to go. Climbing. 13%, maybe more. Ride it out, gravel. You're welcome. All right, the good news, that steep part is only a couple 100 meters at most. And so once you get over it, it flattens out a bit. Still goes uphill, but much more manageable, 5%, all the way to the finish, which is less than a half mile. Top of the climb, this is where finish line is going to be. Party tent, beer, food, bike wash. and sunflowers. We could not ask for a better finish venue. All right, for the 20-mile fun course here, you're gonna go down Dick Hill the opposite way. So you go south to north, turn right on 20 Mill, and then this gate will be open. We've got a cool section. This plantation's over 2,500 acres. And so you've got a cool path going down here, cross a causeway, and then you get to do that same finish climb that the long course and short course did. Sorry.